Show Arena in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Tonight's PIAA telecast is Belle of Pennsylvania's salute to the administrators, the teachers, and the students who, through their combined efforts, have maintained the high standards of education enjoyed by all of our high schools throughout the state of Pennsylvania. And now, my pleasure to turn things over to my broadcasting partner, Al Meltzer.
Thank you very much, Ed. Ladies and gentlemen, representing the East in the Class A finals with a record of 28-1, Reading High School. A senior, 5'9", number 14, Cliff Durham. Number 22, a senior, 6'3", Harry Wenzel. Also a senior, 6'3", number 24, Stephen Hahn. The only junior on the starting five at 6'4", number 50, Stanley Cooper. And at 6'5", senior, number 32, Stu Jackson. And the coach of Reading, James Gano. Coach, nice to have you here. That's Reading with a record of 28-1. And now from the West, and here's Ed Conway.
My privilege now to introduce to Pennsylvania basketball fans the team that has proven itself the best in the West. General Braddock High School Falcons, number 33, Ron Johnson. Number 23, Alan Richardson. Number 43, Gary Anderson. Number 51, Jimmy Smith. Number 35, Jose Champagne. And the coach of the General Braddock High School Falcons, Paul Birch. Good luck, Paul.
Thank you, Ed.
Officiating tonight's game, Bill Sherbondi, Dutch Champo. Alternate is Jack Adams. And now, Al Meltzer on the start of tonight's game.
Thank you very much, Ed, and we're about ready to have a game of basketball for the Class A championship of the state of Pennsylvania. Reading against General Braddock area, and with me to provide color commentary on tonight's telecast, Jim Sims of the Keystone Oaks High School out of Pittsburgh. Jim, as far as Braddock is concerned, I understand that their win last night over Ringgold is an upset since they lost during the regular season, both times by 7 points.
That's right, Al. They lost during the regular season in an exhibition game, and then they lost in the WPIAL championship, but they come on last night to pull the upset.
Of course, Reading gets here with a 28-1 record, having knocked off Chester, last year's runner-up. Chester losing last year to Farrell by 1 point, 56-55. The officials are out of the West, and I'm sure you know them both as a high school coach there.
That's right, I do.
All right, the tap goes to the team in white, Reading. And we'll pick them up for you. 14 is Durham, 22 is Wenzel. They're running a high post, number 50, Cooper, against the zone defense. Is this what we can expect most of the night from Paul Birch?
They'll start in a zone of 2-3. If they get in trouble, they'll go to the man-to-man, Al.
Reading a high-scoring club. There's the number 1 gun, Jackson, an all-stater, and it's 2-0. I guess we're going to have to stop him. He can do it all.
Good baseline move.
Man-to-man defense by Reading. 23, Richardson. We'll pick up the numbers for you. 35 is Champagne, who has had an arm problem. I understand he fractured a hand, but he seems to be all right now.
He's all right now, and he's a good shooter and a good hustler, Al.
That's Richardson, 23. 51 is Smith, about a 20-footer. And this is what the game is, won or lost. Off the board, and the rebound taken down by Jackson. Well, they have a pretty good shooting team all the way around. From outside, it was a heck of a shot to take open the game.
They are a good shooting team. They'll shoot from the outside.
Reading 28-1. And there's a foul on Anderson. It's getting inside position. Jackson number 32. Stu Jackson at 6'5", a senior, averaging 23 points a game, 12 rebounds, and shoots 55 from the field and 65 from the line. He had 14 in the win last night. They will not shoot. This is the common foul. The one-shot foul. The ball taken out of bounds by Stu Hahn. Check, make that Steve Hahn. Again against the zone defense. Reading leading by a score of 2-0 early moments. Durham, was he on the line? He was. A turnover. Now here's a team that basically is, we understand as far as Braddock is concerned, a zone team that went man-to-man to beat Ringgold.
That's right. They go. They love to play that zone. They like to stay with it. They will go man-to-man when they get behind.
Smith with a jumper over 2-2.
This is the boy they're going to have to watch. Smith gets hot. He's tough to stop, Al.
And now full court pressure. Man-to-man pressure, and they'll slip back into the zone. They get the ball inside to Cooper. Good move. No basket. Whistle before the shot. The foul is on Anderson. That's 2 Anderson. And we have only played about, let's see, 6:11 on the clock. These are 8-minute periods. 1 minute and 49 seconds. Oh, boy, what penetration. Jackson makes it 4-2.
Nice move. Beautiful move down the lane.
Heck of a prospect. Stu Jackson at 6'5", the senior. Against the man-to-man defense. Let's see if they're going to attack it with a long jumper. Richardson misses, foul, pushing off against Smith. That's 3 on the team. Smith picked up his first. And Reading, leading by a score of 4-2, has the ball. The Red Knights out of Reading and the Falcons from General Braddock area.
This is the way Braddock started last night. They shooting outside, and they were very cold, but then they came on later in the ball game. They started to drop.
Moving outside is Hahn. Playing the wing Wenzel. They're attacking the zone. Air ball by Hahn. Rebound by Smith. Fast break. Do they like to?
Yes, they do.
Shipman is starting. He's usually a kid on the bench. There it is. Canceled out. Beautiful by Cooper. And the ball retained by General Braddock.
Shipman's very effective in around that foul line in now.
Bob Shipman has been the guy that's been coming off the bench. Their number 6 man. Seeing a great deal of service. Johnson, penetration. Another air ball. The rebound taken down by Cooper. And a whistle. And a foul. Johnson grabbing his first team sport. We've played less than 3 minutes of basketball, and 4 team fouls charged against General Braddock. Ball being brought up now by Wenzel, 22. Perry, 16 last night in the win. Right down the middle. Jackson, beautiful. 6-2, and he's got all 6.
It looked like General Braddock changed their defense to go to a man, and there was a mismatch, and Jackson was all alone.
Stu Jackson, number 32, and you got to like the way he plays. Charge against Richardson. First Richardson. Braddock unable to get on track, trailing 6-2, and the guy doing the damage. Keep an eye on him, 32. There he is. What a move. This time comes up short. And I believe someone in a dark jersey got a piece of the ball. Pressure. We got a zone defense here. Now we got a man-man. Champagne cut off at the baseline. They're going to try and spring him for an outside shot. And I think Hahn got a piece of the ball.
That's right, he did.
And Jackson got it.
Excuse me, Al. General Braddock's content to freelance against a man-to-man.
This is Durham. Good penetration. They're man-man now, as you had indicated. The assignment. Not a particularly interesting shot there by Wenzel. The assignment on Anderson, we'll check it next time. Smith came up short and a rebound, and he starts to break. The outlet pass to Durham. Takes the middle road on a 1-4. Broken up by Richardson. Turnover. Richardson. One-on-one. Richardson changes hands. Follows it up on a whistle. Foul. Foul on Cooper. Hey, there's a heck of a play.
Fine move. They'll take it to the hoop on these fast breaks. They're not afraid to go 1-on-1. And I notice now 45, Darrell Washington, the super sub from Braddock, is now in the game.
Darrell at 6'2", he's a senior. He made 7 of the 13 points in the overtime win last night against Ringgold, 56-49. At the free throw line, Richardson. He'll get another.
Also, in one of the state playoff games against Fifth Avenue, Darrell Washington scored 17 straight points when they were behind by 19 to come from behind to win 74-72.
We got a 6-3 ball game. The kids from the East who haven't won this thing in 10 years. As a matter of fact, out of the District 3, only twice in 52 years. Reading's got a lot to prove tonight. Durham 14. They try a little give and go with Hahn, but it was behind him. Bounce pass to Wenzel, intercepted. 3 turnovers in a row now. Lead feed. They almost got the ball into Ship. Then Reading gets back well, preventing the fast break, and a timeout just been called. So with 3 minutes and 27 seconds still left in the period, it's Reading 6 and General Braddock area 3. Along with that Conway, color by Jim Sims, and we are here at the Farm Show Arena in Harrisburg for the Class A championship between Reading High School to the east and General Braddock area, which is really an amalgamation of Braddock, North Braddock, and Rankin a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
That's right.
3 pretty good basketball areas that have combined to give them a powerhouse. Traveling call, turnover against Richardson. Going to be individual pressure here. Let's see how they're going to handle it now. Wenzel one-on-one with Richardson. Remember, he's got that timeline, 10 seconds, and he breaks over it. Inside position. You can't stop Jackson. 8-3, and he's got all 8.
That's a good move by Stu Jackson, faking with the right power move, coming up back with that left hand.
Shows you why Stu Jackson's a double all-stater last year and this year. Intercepted right to Hahn. Steve Hahn made 13 out of 19 from the field against Abington Heights. 22 is Perry Wenzel, averaging 12 a game. Wenzel comes up short. Rebound taken down by Hahn. And a whistle. Foul. Braddock. 41. Shipman. First. And so to the line. For the Reading Red Raiders will come number 2-4. Steve Hahn shooting 70% from the free throw line, averaging 10 points a game. Had 8 points in the win last night. The score is 8-3 with 2:33 remaining in the period. Good tight shot. This is the first. We'll get another. Steve Hahn of Reading. Draws the collar. 70% shooter at the line. You don't expect it. Still 8-3 Reading. Moving it around. Washington is in there as indicated. And Shipman, who have been off the bench ordinarily, but they didn't waste any time getting him into the game. Coached by Paul Birch. That's Braddock. Good fake inside, but I think Jackson got a piece of it. Jackson does it all, doesn't he?
Yes,
Wenzel with help from Durham. All right, what's he going to do now? Good snuff by Shipman.
A lot of banging around in there, Al.
Yeah, but it's incidental contact, and I'm glad the refs are allowing it. It's the way the game should be played. I think a traveling call here, yep. Off the fake, Shipman had it made, moved his foot.
Good point. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of tension here, and the referees are letting them play.
That turnover, by the way, goes as number 5. Jackson. Jackson. He has 10 points, and the score is 10-3. Reading leads 10 points. From way outside, Johnson. Reading takes the rebound. Hahn taken away. Throws the layup. Smith made by Washington, and it's 10-5. 3 offensive boards for Braddock to get it back into the ballgame. 10-5 with a minute 15 in the first period. They're going to look for this guy. He Johnson takes it. Lead feed to Richardson. Now they're going to set up. Against man-man from way outside. Smith. Rebound by Cooper. Cooper had great position inside. There were two of the Braddock kids, and he had them both boxed out. I like the way Cooper hits the boards and Jackson plays in or outside. There he is again. A crowd pleaser and a foul on Cooper for grabbing on Smith. His second, team second, and will be inbounded by Washington.
I think, Al, that General Bragg's going to have a tough time stopping this Stu Jackson. He has tremendous moves out there for a high school lad.
He really looks like a man among the boys, doesn't he? His size, his speed, his agility, and his really poise. He looks very, very good. Shot missed by Richardson. The ball to Wenzel. 20 seconds remaining. Will they go for the last shot of the period? They lead 10-5. Reading has it. I call them the Red Raiders or the Red Knights. You'll pardon me. Hahn looked like he wanted to make to the middle. There it is, inside for Jackson. Doesn't get it this time. 3, 2, 1. And there it is, end of the period. Score. Winning 10, General Braddock 5. We'll be back in a moment after a word from Bell of Pennsylvania.
There are instances where you have to be at both ends of the court at the same time. Now, I found a way to handle that. Say I'm in New York and I want to make points with somebody on the West Coast. I do it by long distance. I can talk to the guy, feel him out, and he can do the same. So get with the business, man. Score some points the easy way. By long distance.
And now here's Ed Conway of WGAE-TV Pittsburgh for the second quarter play-by-play.
All right, Al, thank you. Stu Jackson has all 10 of Reading's points as they lead General Braddock 10-5. About ready to start the second quarter. For General Braddock, Jimmy Smith in with 2, Darrell Washington with 2, Alan Richardson 1. Rebounds in that first quarter, even, 10 apiece. Turnovers, General Braddock lost it 5 times, and Reading 4. Reading was 5 for 13 from the floor in that first period. 2 for 14 for General Braddock. So we start the second quarter now. Reading up by 5. It's 10-5. Braddock in control. Jimmy Smith. This is only the Falcons' second year as a jointure in Class A competition, and they won the West. They're in the title game. Alan Richardson from outside the key. Scramble for that rebound. Picked off by Richardson for General Braddock. To Bob Shipman. He heads it in over Stu Jackson.
They have to watch Shipman in the lane. He's a tremendous shooter in there, Ed.
10-7. Reading by 3. They have the basketball. Durham and Hahn. High post to Jackson. Back to Hahn. Durham with it now, closely guarded by Johnson. Oh, beautiful shot by Steve Hahn. 12-7. The Red Knights of Reading. Foul here against Stu Jackson. His first. And Reading's third of the half.
Ed, we sure have found a lot of big men in this tournament up here, and Jackson is typical big good man.
Alan Richardson, Jimmy Smith is number 51. Loses it momentarily, but gets it back as he's double-teamed. Darrell Washington, the corner. Jimmy Smith, he has 2. 12-9. Reading by 3 with the basketball. Number 14 is Cliff Durham. In the corner to Mike Garman, number 40, who has just come into the ballgame. Stu Jackson.
General Bragg's going to have to remember Jackson's left-handed, and they have to overplay that left hand.
14-9. Reading by 5. General Braddock with the basketball. Jimmy Smith, Jackson's against him. Another foul on Jackson, his second. And Reading's 4th of the half. So if the Falcons can get big Stu Jackson in foul trouble early, it certainly would be to their advantage. Inbounding, General Braddock. That's Darrell Washington. Highly instrumental in the Falcons' overtime win over Ringo last night that won them the Western Championship. Basket by Ron Johnson, number 33. He let us know it. He held his hand up. 14-11. Jackson, look at the move. Beauty. Oh, what a move, and he's fouled by Bob Shipman. Basket counts. Bob Shipman's second personal, and Jackson will get a chance to convert a three-point play.
Ed, they're playing behind Jackson. They're going to have to get in front of him and try to prevent him from getting the ball. I don't think they can stop him if they continue to let him get the basketball inside on the low post.
Get a good look now at Stu Jackson, 6'5", a senior at Reading. First the three-pointer, 17-11. The Red Knights of Reading up by 6. 6:10 to go, first half. 15 points for Jackson. Jimmy Smith working against Garment. Shipman comes after it. Bob Shipman for General Braddock, number 41. It's 17-13. Reading by 4. Durham, high post, Stu Jackson. Double team, but he gets the shot away. Washington comes off with it for General Braddock. Brings it outside to Ronnie Johnson. Johnson in the corner to Alan Richardson. 17-15. The Falcons have closed the gap to 2. Johnson working against Cliff Durham there. Durham gets around him, but he's picked up by Darrell Washington. In the corner, Steve Hahn over Ronnie Johnson. Hahn goes down on the floor. Now let's see if Garman reaches over there to see if he's okay. A little slow getting up. But evidently he's all right. Number 24, Steve Hahn of Reading. They lead at 17-15. Hahn inbounding for the Knights. Stu Jackson. Oh, he is hot. 17 points for Jackson, giving Chester a 19, or rather Reading a 19-15 lead. In the corner, Alan Richardson against Durham. Richardson or Johnson with the rebound. 19-17. A close ball game. This first half, Reading has been in the lead the whole way. Hahn traveling against Steve Hahn.
A little too anxious to take it to the hoop that time, man.
4:43 remaining, first half. General Braddock in the dark uniforms. They own the basketball at the moment. Ronnie Johnson, reverse layup. Beautiful play.
Excellent move. Fine move.
Tie game, 19-19, and the Falcons have come roaring back. Durham and Johnson, the matchup there. Jackson, left hand hook.
He's beautiful. Just a beautiful ball player, Ed.
19 points for Jackson, and we still got 4:15 to go in the first half. Bob Shipman. Rebound, Steve Hahn of Reading. And Reading is calling a timeout. 4:06 to go in the first half. Reading 21 and General Braddock 19. Jim, we've got a great ball game here between East and West tonight.
Yes, we do. It's a very fine club, very hard fought. Both teams are very aggressive, and here again, General Braddock's out in that tough man-to-man.
We're sitting very close to the floor. Jackson is 9 for 14 from the floor. So I was going to say we're sitting very close to the floor as we look into the Reading bench there. That number 50 is Stan Cooper. Being very close to the floor, I think our mics are probably picking up the rumble of the noise out there on the floor, but that's all it is. Just wanted to apprise you of that. We have 4:06 to go in the first half with Reading up by 2, 21-19. And in addition to Al Meltzer, I'm working here tonight with Jim Sims, the head basketball coach at Keystone Oaks High School. And Jim is giving us the benefit of his experience as a coach to tell us a little inside basketball here. All right, Reading brings it up. Durham is number 14. He has Perry Wenzel outside with him, 22. They go to Jackson again. Jimmy Smith comes off with it. And a foul against Mike Garman of Reading, his first. And that is Reading's fifth, and the 1-and-1 now prevails. Reading's fifth fifth team, so we come to the other end. Jackson at 6'5", Gorman at 6'7". They're the big men. Now number 50, Stan Cooper, has come back in. He is 6'4". For General Braddock, and Gorman has gone to the side. Jimmy Smith at the line. General Braddock has started Gary Anderson, 6'7". He's out of there. Otherwise, Jimmy Smith at 6'5" is their biggest man. And Shipman at 6'5". Jimmy Smith. Shipman, the rebound. Almost has it taken away from him. Scramble, and a jump ball is called. They let that one go for a little while. Shipman in there with Cliff Durham and Darrell Washington, so a jump ball is going to be called.
It is a very hard-fought game, but it's a very clean-fought game.
Let's Shample is the official tossing it up. He's working with Bill Sherbundi. Darrell Washington. All alone. 22-21. General Braddock has taken the lead for the first time tonight. 3:40 to go first half. Reading with the basketball. Wenzel over Richardson. Harry Wenzel, number 22. 23-22. Reading has the lead back again by 1. Ron Johnson. Rebound, Smith for Braddock. Jump ball. Hahn and Shipman involved there. I had to wait to get him unstacked before I could identify him.
And both teams are going to that board ferociously. You can tell it's the Class A state championship final game.
Steve Hahn, Bob Shipman, controlled by Darrell Washington. And once again, the Falcons move out front, 24-23. We have 3:05 left of the first half. Reading with the ball. Into Jackson again. Goes against Shipman. On a move. 21 points for Stu Jackson. If he keeps going like this, he'll set a record. 25-24 Reading. Ball knocked out of bounds.
I can't say enough about this Jackson. He's a very fine ball player, Ed.
Alan Richardson stopped short, stolen away by Hahn for Reading. He's with Washington. Washington taps it away. Hahn controls. Up to Perry Wenzel. Out of bounds it goes, and possession Reading. They'll inbound. Steve Hahn, at whom you're looking right now. In the picture with him, Bill Sherbundi. One of the two officials here tonight. Cooper, high post. Traveling against Hahn.
I noticed, Ed, that Shipman is now trying to play in front of Stu Jackson.
6 turnovers for Reading in the first half. Jimmy Smith. Rebound, Perry Wenzel for Reading. Went high in the air to grab that one. Durham hustles down. He's going all the way. Good play.
Pretty move, very pretty move, Ed.
27-24. Reading by 3, 2 minutes to go first half. General Braddock has the ball. Alan Richardson, number 23, and a foul on Jimmy Smith. That's his second.
Jimmy tried to pick, but you have to be stationary, Ed, when you set that pick, and Jimmy was moving.
Stu Jackson against Bob Shipman. Double teamed under the basket. Gets his own rebound, puts it in. Fantastic performance by this boy. 23 points for Stu Jackson. In the first half, Reading is up by 5, 29-24. He's doing it practically by himself. Jump ball. Bob Shipman, Stan Cooper. Here come the Knights. Steve Hahn, double team, gets it underneath to Wenzel. Jimmy